Hi everybody, welcome to Chris's Tech Channel. My name is Chris, obviously. I'm very excited about doing this and sharing my love for technology. You can take my hearing aids by here. Especially since every year new hearing aids come out more powerful each time, which is good for someone like me who has profound or severe hearing loss. Which means I can't hear without my hearing aids. I mean, look how small they are. And they're powerful enough to give me the almost normal hearing. I would love to get an iPhone ready hearing aid, but unfortunately at the time of this video there hasn't been any news of that coming out because of the power requirement for my type of hearing loss. So hopefully that come out soon. So I'm looking forward to that happening. Lately I have been having dreams of making videos and having tech discussions online. So I felt that was the time for me to give this a shot, so you can be sure you would see me have fun doing this, and you probably see me being funny when I don't realize it. You never know, so keep an eye out for that. So I know I was going to be posting some videos since my last little update video saying I was going to create some new videos, but things had come up and now I have time to create some videos and have some fun with some new technology. So, looking forward to doing that. I'm planning on trying to make as many videos each month as I can, with the goal of becoming a YouTuber to maybe make a living out of it, so I can continue to enjoy messing with technology for Apple products and the Xbox Series S, which is the only non-Apple product that I would discuss as far as gaming. I currently work for two companies. There may be times I may be silent for a week or two, depending on the situation there. Since I love working with both of those two companies, that's not a problem for me because one is the software company that I get to test the software with. The other is using that software, and I get to see how everything operates in a testing environment and also a production environment to see how it works on a Mac with using parallel desktop software from my Windows, which I'll go into more detail about that later. So, a little update. It took me some time to decide to upgrade to the latest Mac, which is the new iMac. I will say this is my first Mac desktop that I've gotten. I've always had MacBook Pros and MacBook. Since that was all I needed at the time. Now, due to the demands of resources that my work needs, I went ahead and got this iMac. So this is going to be a big treat for me because I can already tell I'm able to do much more with a bigger screen than a 13-inch screen. Major difference. Major difference. As I do more and more work with companies, I thought rather than getting a MacBook Pro, why not get an iMac? Since the new one was coming out, and I'm always stationary, especially since we have been in a pandemic. But that will change, I'm sure. But for now, my traveling is basically personal rather than business these days, which gives me the break I need from all the tech I use. Even though I could mess with it for hours non-stop, I gotta stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Enjoy the day, the beautiful day, and get out there, spend time with my wife, with my family, my friends. So I want to be a recluse. That would be good. No, I don't think so. So, right. So, again, I had to look into getting a powerful machine since the demand for resources on the machine was big, mainly due to Windows eating up more of my resources with each update they make to Windows 10. More on that later. Basically, it was necessary purchase for me to keep up with the demand. So, but well worth it, even though it's heavy in price. But there are ways to get one without hurting the pocketbook too much. But that is something I will not discuss because that is something I believe each person should research and decide for their own comfort, as each person's financial situation is different. So now that I have my new iMac with Final Cut Pro X on it, I can really do some awesome work on it. Currently, my current lineup is the iPhone XR, the iPad 6th generation, the Apple Watch 4, this bad boy right here, the MacBook Pro 13-inch with touch bar, and the new iMac. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the software that I talked about in my first major video. That was a while ago. Jeez, that was a really long while ago. To update you on the latest feature, which is Purple P3, which includes both the iOS version and the desktop version. Eventually, I will upgrade my iPad, my iPhone, as well as my Apple Watch. So for this video, we're going to cover two things: the new iMac and the Purple P3 software. So with that in mind, let's get started. First thing we're going to discuss is the new iMac. I'm a little too excited about getting it because at the time of this video, I just got it delivered yesterday. So I've been having a lot of fun messing with it. I still have lots to, but wanted to get this video out there to show you how much fun I'm having. Now, for those of you who have not gotten the iMac due to a pre-order, or have yet to order it, or haven't done it up yet, keep in mind that if you're going to use your old SSD drive that has your Time Machine backup or a Windows backup that uses the old USB standards, keep in mind that even with the adapter that I have that I use with my MacBook Pro, the data transfer might be a little slow because it's using the older standards. And I had over 250 gigabytes worth of data from the backup drive. So it took a good half of my day to transfer everything over. So I was like, really? Over. So, but that also just means that I'm going to have to upgrade the backup drive to USB-C standard. So I don't have that problem no more because I'm pretty sure that the future Apple products will continue to use the USB-C ports unless there's a new USB standard, which then that'll go out the window then. So we'll see what happens. So, yeah. My current configuration of this iMac is the Retina display with the Apple M1, which is Apple Silicon, which has the 8 core CPU with 4 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, 8 core GPU, and a 16 core neural engine. In addition to that, I have a 16 gigabytes of RAM, gigabit internet, 2 Thunderbolt ports, which is USB 4 port 2, and 2 USB 3 port. And when I got this iMac, I went ahead and got almost the entire lineup for my peripherals, which would be the keyboard with the Touch ID, which is pretty cool. And it's orange, it matches the new iMac, which is pretty cool. The Magic Trackpad, and the fancy looking Magic Mouse. Now I got for some people, if you don't need every one, but I got all the entire setup because the different programs I knew that I need a different feel for each one. So I went ahead and got that to look cooler and the cooler to look at. But it's also the efficient in operating certain programs in their own way. So I'm going to be messing with more of that later. Maybe even possibly make a video out of it. So we'll keep an eye out for that. So, well, how can I tell you about the iMac if I don't show you pictures? So check it out. And all its glory. This was beautifully made, and it's not heavy at all, and it's quiet and not noisy. But again, I'm hard of hearing, so I might not be the best judge of that. I have almost no more hearing, so what? Anyway, but when I touch this lovely, sleek iMac, yeah, thin. It's ridiculously thin, which is cool. I don't feel vibration, and I've been on this iMac for a while and I haven't felt any heat, which is amazing. It's also due to the efficient heat sink system that they have. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's also due to the fact that the logic board and everything is small in one little strip well, you see that color part of the bottom of the iMac, and I'll show you in the picture in just a second. That's the size of the logic board. It's that ridiculous. I mean, mad props for making such an efficient machine. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. And, so big props for making a beautiful machine. Funny thing, I was looking into pre-ordering this machine. I had to rewatch the keynote. And I looked at the pictures and everything. I was like, oh, it looks good. I didn't even have to dimension the size of the machine and the details. And I was like, oh, I think like a decent size. It's not too big. In hindsight, I didn't have anything in front of me to compare between the MacBook Pro and this. So, yesterday when the box came, I looked down and I was like, oh, good size box. Maybe it's just fancy packaging. Let's check it out, one of them. So, I put it inside, open up the new iMac over here. That's it. That's the box. Open it up. I was like, oh, okay, pretty cool, fancy. Open it up. And lo and behold, and all is glory right there. And I take it out, and I, boom, put it on my desk. And I'm looking at it, and I have a 2 TV setup, okay, that I was using with my MacBook Pro. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at my TVs, and I'm going, wow, this is going to be an adjustment because I don't want to use my TVs. So, yeah. But I will also say, with the 2 TVs, I have one cord that's USB to HDMI, and then I have a second one that was the USB with the put. By the way, let me show you what that looks like. So, yes. Yeah. So, yes. I'm back. Okay. I use this to put in the HDMI cord. The HDMI cord right there for the second TV, and it worked with my MacBook Pro, no problem. Whatever. But then I think, in my opinion, that's my thought. I think it's due to the fact that it's not a true USB-C cord. The second TV is not working with the iMac yet. And I think, yeah, because I'm good at figuring out software and hardware, so I'm pretty sure I get to go to wait and watch. So, to keep in mind, don't freak out. If you do have the same setup as me, don't freak out. Okay? There are other ways to do that. You can buy a newer one of these, which I doubt there's anything much different. I'll have to look it up and see. I really did not have the time to really run through everything. I just got this iMac yesterday. Didn't really have that time to go over everything and stuff like that. So, because I wanted to get this ball rolling here so to have some fun. So, with that, but with this big retina display, 24-inch retina display, which is awesome in its own thing, and the one TV that it's sufficient for my needs for right now. Now, I will say that I haven't figured this part out yet either. With Final Cut Pro, you cannot have that TV attached for some reason. I haven't figured out why, because it makes the program quit. So, that'll be another video. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, but I for the second TV, I've ordered a second USB-C to HDMI cord to see if that will work with the second TV. So that's going to be interesting. That'll come tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to getting that. So keep an eye out for that. So with that in mind, I'm going to switch to the desktop and go over some stuff there. And I'm going to have a lot of fun. I can tell you that right now. So thank you for watching. Hold on a second. Here we go. Desktop now, as you can see, you might want to make sure you go to apple.com, to check out the different colors and options they have for the new iMac. You also can get a bit more detail here. To click here for learn more, obviously. Give this information, all the colors, download to the new iMac, and you can check out all this information here, and you can see what's available. It's fucking crazy, like I said. Looking at the picture, you looking at it, you're like, okay, it doesn't seem that big. Okay, go figure. So, it's big. very interesting. So, it's pretty cool. So, you can look at the website and check out more about it. But I will say that when you go into options to buy it, you're only going to be able to get up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than sufficient for my needs. And also keep in mind, the M1 chip is more than makes up for that. So, I mean, it's over 65, so that's pretty cool. Even with me recording this screen, doing my video, and showing that, and whatever else I'm going to show you. So, pretty cool. Now, in this channel, it will be dedicated to showcasing new and awesome products that I may or may not buy before the creation of a new video. So you can be sure that in a few years, I will upgrade this iMac to get a larger bit of RAM for future projects. Thankfully, Apple has a trade-in program that makes it easy to do all of that. So that's pretty cool. So with that in mind, yes, and you probably have noticed, if I minimize this for a second here, if I minimize this, and move that out of the way for a second, yeah, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition wallpaper. It is ridiculously cool. Ridiculously cool. So, yeah, there's gonna be a video on that. I guarantee you. I've been messing with it. I got it last Friday. It's been a lot of fun. I'm still on Mass Effect 1, making sure I got everything. It's really cool. Anyway, before we get off track, so I get excited about this stuff and Apple stuff too, so I can go on and on. So I gotta limit myself in. So let's see what we got here. So I have a lot of programs on this machine. Some are pretty old and so useful, or I have not had the time to really clean up the applications I have, which eventually I will do, since this is not an Intel-based Mac. I will go over that later when we discuss parallel desktop software, which is a major discussion we will have at some point in the video, or in another video that may be dedicated just to parallel desktop software. However, we're going to cover P3 for now. So on that note, let's get started. Now, as you can see, when you log in, it's going to put in a login. I got everything automatic since it saves my password and give me a chance to save it, to open it. So you put in the login credentials, login, bring this up, and it comes up. This is the first thing you see. Typically, the video will be on, but I have the video privacy on, so you don't see me twice. So I'll demonstrate that in a minute. So, as you can see, the person that logs in will see themselves in the program right here. So, to go figure. So, and I'm going to leave that alone to just leave this video up here. Anyway, to show myself. So, with that in mind, definitely log into that to the through. Now on the side on the right over here, you see that dial in the screen button. You can type in the number that you want to call. Now, when you do that, when the number is dialed and you put that green button over here, the first thing it's gonna call is what it's going to determine is if it's another video phone, or VP for short. Video VP number. If it's a VP number, it will go directly to that person's machine that handles the VP number. Be it an iPad, iPhone, Mac, or possibly even Android. Who cares about Android? So, yeah. Anyway, basically any machine that has the proper software. So, that's pretty cool. And then you have the... So, but by the way, if it's not a VP number, it would connect to the relay source, which has the interpreter to it. So the interpreter show up on the screen, and the same place as me, and my picture would go in the middle. And I'm not going to demonstrate that because there might be issues about them showing up on the screen, so I don't want to put them on this recording. So, but if I ever get to the point where I have enough connections that I'm allowed to do that kind of stuff, then I might come back to this, but I doubt it because it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's mainly for deaf and hard of hearing people, but they have to show that they are hard of hearing and that by giving them proof via an audiogram or whatnot. So you can't crop it, by the way, if you don't want to send out their personal information online and all that stuff. So let's see. But now below that you will see card settings. Now there's interpreter, language, and then announce relay. You can have the interpreters down in either English or Spanish and stuff like that. Or you click Spanish or go to a person that knows Spanish. If you need to talk to a Spanish person, maybe I'm not sure about it. I need to do that, so I'm not touching that. Then you have the option to tell them announce relay yes or no. Now, what announce relay does is that when the interpreter calls that person that you're trying to call, they have to announce themselves that they're talking for a deaf or hard of hearing person, and they're standing. There might be a delay in response because they're relaying that information to the caller, me, for example. So, yeah. Now, the no is good because if you want to, if the deaf or hard of hearing person just wants to talk to that person without announcing relay, because sometimes there's been situations where they just turn up on the people because they think the relay service is a spam call or something, which I think is ridiculous. So, but I have not had that in a while, so I'm hoping that has improved. And I don't use it often because most of my friends and family and bosses have iPhones. So, and I FaceTime, that's my primary phone call. And plus I text a lot. So, yeah, more on that later, I'm sure. Then below that, you have the voice carryover. Now, what voice carryover does is good for a hard of hearing person like me. You tell them that you want to talk to one person, and then you go over the line, and you use your own voice, and the interpreter will stand for you while the other person keeps talking on the other line, which is pretty nice. So, props for Purple to making that happen. So, and then below that, you have special instructions, which is before you dial the number, you give them information that you want the interpreter to know before you dial, so they're prepared for the call, especially like, for example, a support call to Apple. And you tell them what's going on, so they're prepared ahead of time, and then they can transfer you to an interpreter that started of the first shift, rather than trying to switch between an interpreter during a call, because that can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But otherwise, that's what the special instruction section was for. Now, with the chat over here, with that chat room, basically. So, like, if me having a hard time to explaining what I'm saying, or if I don't know if they're dying for it, or whatever, then I can type it in. Sometimes the interpreter will type something, to, like a phone number, email address, to make sure you actually got to, which is not good. Then you can just copy and paste that information and put it in a document somewhere so you have it for future stuff. So, really handy to do that. So that's that. So then, of course, at the bottom to the phone number. Don't ignore that. And then if you come over here on the left, and you see all these buttons here that got the call, which is the primary screen we're seeing right now. Then you got call history, which keeps a record of the calls that you've made or the calls you've received so far. I've deleted a lot of old calls, so I didn't have to show that number. But that's for Apple, and you got public care. So, and then you have your contact information, which shows all your important numbers of your friends and stuff like that. Then you have Purple Mail, which is voicemail. It's a version of voicemail, but it's all in video. The interpreter can call and leave a message, or your friend that has a VP number can call. Then you have your settings, but pretty much the rest of that is pretty self-explanatory. To change your video input to the audio input, your car settings, voice greeting, and which tells that person what you want to say and stuff like that. It's automatic email and password, email notifications, your avatar and color and thing, which is kind of cool because then you only can just change that. So that's fine. So I like it. I'm happy with it. So, coming back to the car lot, so you can see me, so and I don't have to try to get the other video running. So, to that purple pizzeria, and that is pretty efficient. It's been pretty handy. So, it's really good in handling that. So, so also, if you look at the old video that I made, you will see that I had a really old look and compare it back then, which was more than 11 years ago, and to now, there's been vast improvements and a lot of features that got a little bit more fine-tuned and stuff like that, and everything all together. It needs to be a separate app for just Purple Mail. Then thankfully, I put it all in one place. So that's probably inputted that years ago, and I just didn't make a recording of it, so no big deal there. So, but they just basically made it easy for ease of news and organization and stuff like that. So I like it. It's pretty cool. So, now I would like to show you the Purple website. There are a couple of new things I would like for you all to see. Things you may want to share with your deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing friend. Now, there are other programs that do the same thing but I've been using Purple for quite some time, and that's why I'm not going to go over those other ones. But all of them are free for the deaf and hard of hearing with that proof I mentioned. I encourage you all to check out the website and see the details of what I'm going to talk about in more depth on your own. I'm basically going to try to click note certain aspects if I can. Now, Purple, let's close this. Alright, I'm going to move this out of the way. So, Purple, obviously this is Purple, and when I first opened the page, I saw a couple of new things that haven't been on here in a while. I don't usually do this, so there's a bunch of options. There's obviously a new thing just right now. You're gonna take something called power. So we're gonna look into that in just a minute. So, okay. Now, Purple and other companies that offer the same services for the deaf and hard of hearing with hardware that not an iPhone, iPad, or a Mac that takes advantages of the Purple's VP software. So, one example of the hardware is a set-top box, which you probably have seen in this little thing right here at the very top of that TV. That's the set-top box. It used to be big, and now it's just ridiculously small, so that's pretty cool. Some of my deaf friends use it, and they like it because they'll be able to use the big screen and get to talk and everything, so that's kind of cool. Now, again, there's an Android version of a thing. I'm not going to discuss it. I'm all Apple, and that's it. So, Apparently, like I said, there's a new thing called pop, so let's check that out. And I have not really looked into it too much right now. So if you look at that, it's a color of what. Apparently, you can have more than one user for this light. So if you have a certain account with your family, with your kids, for those that people have kids that have family that are deaf, that can do different light colors of shows and stuff like that. So I encourage you to check that out. But it's nothing groundbreaking. It's basically a light bulb that has multiple light settings and millions of colors that you can set, and you pretty much are not limited to do that. The only thing that's cool is that each light can be assigned to a person. But again, that's nothing groundbreaking because there's plenty of lights out there that can do the same thing when you use your phone with Apple HomeKit and all that stuff, which will be another thing way down the road. So I got a lot to catch up on. So, anyway, also, I almost forgot to mention that before I go any further, a long while ago, another VP that is like purple called ZVRS joined forces to start the process of making a new single company that pools the resources to help offer the deaf and hard of hearing customers with new ways to communicate, and also have plenty of interpreters on hand to handle a lot of the clients' needs. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, now I want to show you one more little thing. It's called Civo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Civo. Civo. What this pretty much does is, if you take a look at the video, you'll just have to watch the video. I don't want to play it right now. But if you click on it, it'll take you to civo.me. This is basically a way for hearing people to video call with the caller on this app right here. Them app right here. That includes the iOS version, on an iPad or iPhone or whatnot, and it allows you to video call with the people that you're calling, in addition to bringing up the interpreter on the screen and stuff. So you're gonna have 3 videos: yourself, the friend you're calling, or the person you're calling, whoever it is, friend, boss, whatever, and then the interpreter, which is really cool. I thought that was cool. And then it makes the personal contact a little bit more personable, I should say, and it makes it a lot more fun to get that connection with other people, and it's not like you're just talking to an interpreter, but they can see that, so you're talking to them, so that's pretty cool, and so that's cool. I think I went pretty good for my return video, so I've been making a new one over the next few days to cover parallel desktop and how it worked with an M1 chip machine, be it iMac or MacBook Pro, because there is a MacBook Pro with an M1 chip. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave me the comments of what you thought about the video. Let me know if you want me to discuss anything that is out there that I might get, and I can do a little video on that to share my thoughts on that and everything else. Please on the lookout for more videos. I'm gonna go hard on this because there's a ton to cover, and this is just a video. I just got started, so I wanted to share this with you guys so I can get this sent off, and we'll be good to go. So, and then so I can enjoy my Mac a little bit, so it can show that I'm having a little bit of fun with it. So the next future videos will probably get better and better and better. Trust me, I will do pretty well. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope to talk to you a little bit. So stay cool, stay warm, stay healthy, and just have a good old day. Alright, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.